Tonight's episode is brought to you by Good Rugby Distillery. Hard to pronounce, easy to drink. Find out more at goodredigby.com.
Hey, how is everyone? This is a bit of a weird one. This is our instant reaction to the Springboks. First of all, shout out the Wallaroos for putting 1,000,000 scored a nil against Samoa. But this is instant reaction. The game has just ended. And what have I got to say? So I'm going to say, it's me, Nick, by the way. I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. Nathan's a bit busy. He's got 1,000 things going on over in England with the Women's World Cup. But I'm just going to talk about, a couple of things, and we'll see what Nathan comes back with. So a couple of things I've got to say. What a great performance. I think this puts to bed that last week was a fluke. We did everything that we could to win this game, and we almost did win it. We had 4 injuries in the first bit. I think all in the first half. I'm thinking Tom Wright, Nick White. I didn't see what happened to Nick White. I think he got an HIA. I didn't see it. We'll get back to that, seeing and not seeing. Tonga Thor did his hands, but he played the full game, or as much as he could. And Swiley went off at halftime. So let's talk about the fucking camera work. I fucking hated the camera work. If you're watching this, maybe you're watching on stand during you stayed up like me, or you're watching it tomorrow morning. The camera work was fucking awful, and I couldn't get over it. And the thing that really shit me off is that it affected the refereeing. So there was this part, like I think it was like the 70th minute, and there's a quick ball straight to Edmed, and Edmed gets hit high, and they're going back because it got called for a Colby pilfer or a head high from Valentini. So Colby goes in to pilfer this ball, and Valentini head high hits him, which is like it's the second time it's happened. I mean, Colby is 3'2". Like, you're going to head high him any chance. And then the ref looks at it, goes, actually, no, Edmed got hit by Fussy, their fullback. Fussy, by the way, like, amazing player. I'm not sure if he played well, but he's huge and he's a fullback. I've got a feeling he shouldn't be playing rugby. He's too sublime. He should go to NFL, if anything. And anyway, and they went back, and it was like, I saw it, the game was like, Edmed got hit, and then they had to do a slow-mo replay. I think the Springboks had already kicked the ball down the field for their penalty, and Dolman's like, actually, no, go back. Edmed got hit head high. So that was awful, and it was a lot of the camera angles from the South Africans didn't want it. And a lot of Dolman's refereeing, and look, Dolman was generally good. He just missed loads of knock-ons, loads of forward passes, and loads of, quite obvious penalties. He always called back, which was great, but he just missed a lot. What else we got? Corey Toole. I thought Corey Toole had a fantastic game. He started first cap, obviously. I thought he played really well. Valentini, great to see him back. Man, that bloke loves contact. And Angus Bell, talking about head highs, I think Angus Bell got crock-rolled every tackle. But, I think fantastic game for most of the boys. There wasn't a poor performance. The field was shit. Clearly, the New South Wales Waratahs ground stuff been called in to water it down. But I don't know what I have to say about tonight's game, really. It's you kind of expected the Springboks to come back, and they did. But the Wallabies kind of outplayed them in many ways. Like, something I forgot to say. What happened to Jock at the end? I've got no idea. He left 8 points out there, which would have closed the gap. 30-22 would have been 30-30, but and we didn't get the bonus point, but really disappointing. But I'm still happy, man. They had a fantastic game against world champs. What can you say? Man, I don't know. I mean, good, solid performance, and let's bring on the Argentines.
At Green and Gold Rugby, we love nothing more than celebrate a great Aussie success story. And Good Rugby Distillery is one of the most exciting ones around. They're shaking things up, literally, by maturing their spirits in Aussie hardwood cubes instead of old-school barrels. With infused flavours of ironbark, jarrah, even Tasmanian blackwood, that's about as uniquely Aussie as it gets. Not into malt? No worries. They've got a whole range, from Australian gins to grey gum vodka and even blackwood rum. No matter what you taste, there's something for everyone. Just head to goodredigby.com to place your order. And here's a special offer for Green and Gold Rugby fans. Use code GAGR20 at checkout for 20% off, or click the link in the episode description. Good Redigby. That's good, dig, B. Hard to pronounce, real easy to drink. And remember, drink responsibly.
Hello, Nick, and everybody else. Yeah, this is weird we're doing it this way, but unfortunately this is kind of just how we have to do it with the Wallaroos into the Wallabies game. I'm currently 7 p.m. in Manchester. Yeah, I got to the ground at 11 a.m., but such is the crossover that we're just trying to get whatever we can out to you guys. I agree with Nick's points, and I'll go even further. I think this proves that this Wallabies side is legit, even from the last 4 to 5 games. Let's look through it. We have a tight loss in South Africa, a win over the Springboks in Johannesburg. We haven't won in 62 years. Beat the Lions, a last-minute loss to the Lions at the MCG. That's enough for form strain to say that this side is actually legit. Look, I'll echo what Nick said. I loved Corey Toole. He was amazing. The smarts from Nick White, just to kind of spy the space. You just knew that was money. That was him in behind there was just money all day. And that combination of him and Max Jorgensen is a serious threat. Even when you have Corey Toole, Suoliti as kickoff threats, there's just so many elements to the side. The camera work Nick said, for me it comes back to the whole TMO and the home field advantage you get. Australians, we don't lean into it enough. South Africans, they'll put any shit on there. They'll put something that looks like it might just graze somebody's above their armpits, and they'll cop a 2-minute replay. That'll be a feature film, just so you can try and get penalty off something. Look, I won't go into Darwin bashing because I've done enough of that, but there was several times when there was a very clear decision that the team essentially had to play second referee, like a second striker in the Premier League, just helping him out the entire time. But look, I'm not going to. That's all I'm going to say on that. What else? I thought Bell and Valentini were awesome. They just get some serious go forward. That's what you need. Particularly when you were losing the collision battle in the first half, you need those guys just pumping the ball up the field. So they did well. O'Connor, yeah. I thought he was solid. The kick in behind that caused the chaos of Jorgensen's try was awesome. It's just, the goal kicking. When you're playing in a cow paddock, it's tough. But the reality is, if you're going to be a starting 10 at a World Cup, if that's what his goal is going to be, that kick when Pangramosa scored the Relo Mall try, you have to hit that. You just have to hit that. And who knows what happens. That was a difference tonight. Pollard didn't miss. O'Connor left 8 points out in the field. And, hey, we lost by 8 points. But as I've told people, a fortnight ago, you come to me and said, Nathan, you're going to the South Africa, the Wallabies. I'll give you a bonus point win and a narrow loss in Cape Town. I would take that like I've stolen it. I would take that and run as fast as we can. Ultimately, this has been such a confidence boost and shows, as I sort of started this with, this team is legit. This team is awesome. The injuries suck. The fact that we just can't get away with a clear injury game is annoying. Tom Wright, I don't know the severity of the knee injury. There'll be one for later, but luckily we have a little bit more of a gap with the Argentina test in the fortnight. Suoliti, White, both HIAs. Tupou, the fingers, again, don't know those ones as well, but the HIAs, you should have clearance back in 2 weeks for those. Status of Jake Gordon is also unknown, so that could be a perfect replacement for Nick White if it needs to be. If this is it with Nick White in the gold jersey, God, I'm so glad that he's got the plaudits that he deserves over the past month, because he's such a good player and shows that we can't just be discarding nines who are, north of 30 just because, we have this new shiny product. So, look, I'm glad that he's getting his shot. I want to see how they back it up against Argentina. Argentina, for me, are such a dangerous side in the sense of the Australian public think they're shit, but they are fucking unreal. They are such a good side. And a loss against them will instantly have people being like, oh, well, the Wallabies weren't back yet. They're still suffering. It's like, shut the fuck up. This team beat the Lions 2 months ago. Argentina are good. We need a stack wins against them. And what else is there from this game? Scrum was okay. Nick Frost is amazing. He just keeps getting better. I don't think there should be any debate about what our best locking pair is. It's Frost and Skelton. If Skelton's not there, Frost, Sarko, Lotto, throw him in there. Like Edmund off the bench, was serviceable. Didn't look out of place outside of a nervous kickoff at the beginning of the game. Tate McDermott's great. He's awesome. Fraser led from the front. That's kind of my thoughts. You're getting my brain sort of 7 articles deep, and honestly, my brain at this point would be about 7 beers deep, which again will be afterwards. So if you hear another voice note, a fellow voice note, it could be that. So on to Argentina. 2 tests there. Here in Sydney and Townsville. Apparently selling really well because the momentum's behind the Aussies. The key thing is let's continue going. Let's continue putting the pressure on because who knows what happens when New Zealand plays South Africa. South Africa could come back, wipe them, All Blacks on the ropes, then we can maybe pounce for a Bledisloe Cup win. We'll wait and see. And once again, thanks to Nick for sort of pushing this because, we've been all over the place. So you'll hear this one, and then hopefully at the end you'll hear my Wallaroos rap as well, because I'll give a bit more of an insight into what it's like being in Manchester and following the team around. So, we'll probably be back again in a week or two with some proper podcasts. Again, we can make the time zone work. But thanks for listening to this one. I promised the Wallaroos World Cup one. Hopefully Nick has included this at the end. Otherwise, he's a massive sexist. That's the rule. That's not me. That's just the rule. So here in Manchester, or Salford is technically the name, but it is 15 minutes outside of Manchester. Manchester is a lot smaller than you think. You have in your head. So it's technically Salford, but it's Manchester. 73-0 over Samoa. That was clinical. I've never had such a low heart rate for a game in my life because they came out and just were dominant from the first minute. I think scored in 90 seconds, and which again, Samoa ranked second lowest ranked side in the whole World Cup. And you think, well, Nathan, why were you disappointed? Why were you thinking that all of a sudden this is going to be a challenge? And it's because so many times, and anyone who's listening to this probably understands this, so many times Australian sides have walked into these games and severely underestimated their opponents and got the shit kicked out of them. Or not the shit kicked out of them, they've just made it way too hard, where you walk away being like, why was I nervous for a bit there? Portugal, 2023 comes to mind. Samoa from the men's, and they bet us at ANZ. I don't know if it was ANZ back then, but Stadium Australia, whatever it's called. But there was no issue here. They came out and molly-whopped them. Every part of the game was awesome. The scrum was elite. The attack was... I think they had 12 attacking 22 entrants, and 11 times they scored. That's freakish. Desiree Miller with a hat-trick. She was awesome, but had HAA concern, so the time of recording, we don't know what's happened there, but you might have more details when listening right now. Fingers crossed she comes through all right. Cecilia Smith player of the match, and she should have been. She was amazing. She was so good in the side. Basically rounded off an excellent attacking performance that included Fatal Maleka and Caitlin Halls. Like, Caitlin Halls has won so many fans over here because they can't believe she's 18 and that size and that composed. Like her and Maleka were just having fun out there. That was back to their old school days of just playing around. I don't know. They played their junior football to there, but I can't remember where. Insert local ground in Sydney. Forward pack was awesome. Scrum just dominated all day. It feasted. Having Pahiva and Eva Kapani as on at the same time is unfair. They just murdered them, and the replacements did the job as well. Shout out Bree Hoy. Bree Hoy coming on 9 months on from an ACL injury she suffered in training at WXV, so getting her back in the ground is awesome. I spoke to her after the game, and she was pretty pleased to sort of have gotten rid of the dark days and gone through all the process to get where they were. I will say, fascinating crowd, because it was for those that don't know, it was a doubleheader between that game and then Scotland and Wales. Again, awesome game. Scotland looked cool. My observation from that game is, Jesus, Scotland backline look huge. They're 5'9", 5'10", but they look out. You look across it and you're like, God, it's imposing. But hey, random thought. But yeah, like as soon as it sort of the crowd was a smart crowd, and as soon as they realised this could be a blowout, they went, all right, let's get behind Samoa. And getting behind Samoa is like any Pacific Islander side is the easiest thing in the world. It's like getting behind ice cream as what's your favourite treat on a summer's hot day. Like, it is the easiest thing to support because they are so much fun. Like players who were warming up were like hyping up the crowd, and they were all behind them. It was just such a cool atmosphere, and honestly, probably the best thing that could have happened to Wallaroos, because 85% of the crowd turned against them. Like, there was plenty of gold jerseys in the crowd, but more Navy Scotland, Navy Scottish and Red Welsh jerseys, because geography. They all turned on the Australians, but they got hostile. And that's what you want. It was 45-0, and all of a sudden they're defending their line in the second half like it's an away game. And they had to rally, and they bounced back, and they actually held them off. That's what should be impressive about this, not the 73. The fact that Samoa had all the momentum, but a Pacifica side with momentum is fucking terrifying. At the best times, let alone with, I think it ended up being 10,000 for the entire doubleheader, most of which are still win the gates by this point. So, but it was good. Again, great defensive performance. My observations of being here in Manchester, energy around the Wallaroos is very good right now. Like, they are up and about. I arrived for the opening ceremony event, and it was singing, there was dancing, they were all up and about, which is what you want to see. Manchester is a city that sort of is, again, you sport for options, but again, it was nice to see is going out last night and finding, it was so easy to find a TV that had the game on. Also handing out free Asahi when England scored the first try. Always will get me behind it. Behind an English side. I need free drinks to get behind an English side, so that worked well. It's just momentum building in this tournament. It's really nice to see all the sort of advertisement around. England-USA game nearly sold out. I think it was sold out, actually, in Sunderland, so that was nice. It's a spectacle. The only issue that will come out of this, and by the time this goes live, you'll probably have seen it, this round is going to be so lopsided. There's such a difference in class between England. There's like 4 tiers. You have England as one tier, then you have New Zealand, France, Canada as a second tier, then you have like us, Ireland, the Scots in a third tier, along with maybe Italy, and then you just throw the rest. So you're copping some really bad scores, and that'll continue. But like, the vibe's still great. We'll head up to York tomorrow, or Sunday if you're recording this. If you're listening to this tomorrow, when this probably goes out, I'll be in York, ready for the USA game, and that's the big one. That is essentially round of 16 right there. Winner goes through to the quarterfinal. Loser, if it's Australia, need a goddamn miracle to beat England, because God, they're a good side, and they're going to pump it. They're going to shit whip everybody until like the semi-finals. Maybe so I might just cruise to the semis. They are such a good side. Need to beat the Americans. There was enough. You saw enough from a set piece perspective that says the Australians can put pressure on them, but the game in Canberra in May proved that this USA side they trouble Australia. Their physicality troubles them, which is a concern. But I think the Australians are classy enough and have enough talent and weapons that they can really make a difference, particularly if Sika Pasipalu's back. She'll still go through the paces, but hopefully she's good to go. This is the game they've been targeting for her. All eyes on York, and I get to 4:30 kickoff. Get around them, because this is the game that matters. You don't have any Wallabies games to watch this week. No more internationals. Get behind Wallaroos this week, because this is basically a finals game. You win this into quarterfinals, and it's all fun from there. Lose this, you're basically out. So that's my observation from Wallaroos. Keep following my socials if you want to see more from inside the camp. There'll be a couple of cool things coming out from there. And thanks for your time, and like and subscribe.
Tonight's episode was brought to you by Goodwood Digby Distillery, uniquely Australian and proud of it. Cheers to supporting local. Visit goodwooddigby.com.